endlessly searching for an original sin.
Hi everyone and welcome back to Hakuoki, Wind Samurai game, yes. I will never be able to say it. September 1864. The closeness in time between the Battle of the Akita Inn and the Imperial Palace created significant civil unrest within Kyoto. The Shinsengumi redoubled their efforts to keep people safe, but the more they worked, the more the shogun put them to work. His approval of their activities meant more official business, and it stretched them thin. Even with recruits from Kyoto and Osaka, it wasn't enough. After many discussions, the Shinsengumi chose to recruit even more men from Edo, and Hei was tasked with preliminary scouting in the city. The hardened sun kissed our burning cheeks as Kan and I saw Hei off, his grin wide and his bags packed from the night before.
さて、じゃあ行ってくるとすっか。俺がいない間、みんなのことよろしくな。
Okay, I promise to help as much as I can.
大使募集の件、頼むぞ、平助。俺も来月には江戸に行くからな。
The plan was for Hei to hit Edo early and scope potential men, and have Khan follow behind a month after to make the final say with recruits. Isn't there someone you mentioned wanting to see? I remember you saying something like that.
雪村君はまだ聞いていなかったか。確か名は伊藤さんと言ってたな。北進一刀流の剣客で学もある人らしい。
Let's see. Kashitaro Itao, the head of the Hakushin Ito Dojo, and a loyal subject to the emperor.
まあ正直言うと、伊藤さんとはそこまで親しいわけじゃないけどさ。多分話は聞いてくれると思う。
それで十分だ。伊藤さんは尊王派と聞いているが、義をもって話をすれば必ずや力を貸してくれるに違いない。
Khan nodded confidently, but Hei looked like he wasn't quite as sure.
よし。それじゃあそろそろ行ってくる。高堂さんのこともできるだけ調べとくから、期待して待っててくれよ。
Okay, be careful. I watched him go, and the smaller his back became, the lonelier I felt. When I couldn't see him anymore, my heart twinged. I glanced up at Khan. You look happy. You're thinking about all the new warriors you're getting, right?
ああ、やはり大使が増えるのは嬉しいものだ。それが有能な人材ならなおさらだよ。
He puffed out his chest and grinned. His relief at recruiting new members reflected just how worried he must have been. I hadn't realized how much we were struggling. That's not a good sign, is it? Khan kept his men close to his heart, and now he could smile. Time passed quickly after Hei left, and a month soon went by. The day for Kondo to leave for Edo was upon us, and I saw him off the next morning. I came across Khan in the yard, mired in his thoughts. Hello, Khan.
ああ、雪村君か。どうかしたのかい？
Oh, no, nothing like that. I was just thinking about how you'll be on your way to Edo tomorrow.
ああ、その通りだ。平助をあまり待たせるわけにもいかんからな。
It'll be a little lonely around here once you've left headquarters too.
何？留守は都市に任せてあるし、いないと言ってもほんの一月程度だよ。
He didn't know his kind generosity and Hei's bright personality kept me going day after day here. They were the highlights of my restrictive life. With both of them gone, Khan hadn't even left. Yet, and I was already feeling an uncontrollable loneliness sweep over me. It must have shown on my face because he suddenly looked troubled.
そうだ。せっかく江戸に行くわけだし、何か土産でも買ってこようじゃないか。君もふるさとが懐かしかろう。
Oh no, I'm fine. You don't have to worry about me.
そうか？ では他に俺にできることがあれば言ってくれ。できるだけ期待に沿おう。
He was always so accommodating to me already. I didn't have any complaints. But there was something I'd desired for a while, but never had the nerve to ask before. Before you leave for Ito, could you, train me?
稽古？ひょっとして剣の稽古という意味かね？
Yes?
いや、それはいかんだろう。俺の指導は荒っぽいからな。怪我でもさせたら行動さんに申し訳が立たん。
Oh.
しかしずいぶん唐突な頼みだが。
His eyebrows furrowed in concern. I want to watch over everyone while you're gone. Did I do good? Oh. I'm gonna save just in case. I keep forgetting the buttons are still the Japanese way of doing it. If I'm going to help watch over the compound while you're gone, I want to be capable.
いや、しかし君は大使ではないし。
You're right, but still, I want to be strong enough to be able to protect myself, at least the bare minimum, if something was to happen. Having witnessed many battles with the Shinsengumi, it was pretty clear how far behind in skill I was. I would fall quickly if I dealt with similar battles. I knew I'd never be as strong as them, but war could still reach my doorstep someday as well. I wanted to lessen the burden on my protectors. I tried my best to explain how I felt to Khan, and eventually he gave a firm nod.
はい、わかった。そこまでの熱意を持っているなら、俺も喜んで稽古に付き合おう。
We found a cord to tie up my sleeves and set about training me. Normal Shinsengumi training revolved around real-life sparring with wooden swords. Khan decided to go easy on me with a bamboo stick.
では、早速始めるとしよう。先に言っておくが、天然理心流は少々荒っぽいぞ。
Right, I'm ready.
ならば、まず構えから見ようか。雪村君は剣術を習っていたんだったな。
Yes, it was mostly for self-defense, but I did receive instruction in fighting with a kodachi.
ならば、身についた型を崩すことはない。その流派の型で構えてみてくれ。
Okay. Bamboo stick in hand, I moved into the familiar stance that I memorized during my training.
握りが甘い!
Like a whip, his harsh words stung as he barked.
いいか、正面から切り合いになった時、真っ先に間合いに入るのは刀であり、刀を持つ手でもある。握りが甘ければ、その時点で容易に刀を落とされてしまう。これは気をつけねばならん。
Okay. He hit me with the full brunt of his stringnet, which is stringnet teaching. I could see he was taking this seriously. He wasn't going easy on me because I was a girl.
今度は固く握りすぎているな。君の場合、腕力の問題で敵の斬撃を正面から受け止めるのは避けるべきだ。となると自然斬撃を受け流す形になるが、この場合だと逆に固く握りすぎていては。
With Khan's instructions, I practiced swinging the sword over and over, doing my best to learn and retain everything he was teaching me.
もうこんな時間か。
His words brought my head up, and I blinked. The sun set without me realizing. Pooling below, and the sky was now shades of red and purple. Suddenly, in the real world again, fatigue slammed into me, and I collapsed to my knees. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing this for me. Every limb was shaking, my clothes completely drenched in sweat. I sucked in air like I couldn't get enough of it. Khan glanced over at me when I fell to the ground, and his strict teaching expression immediately switched to one of deep concern.
すまなかった雪村君。俺としたことがついつい熱が入ってかなり無茶な練習を。
I'm fine. The fact that you forgot and ended up teaching me that way even though I'm not your student. Oh, thank you, it made me really happy.
そうか。そう言ってもらえると少しは救われる気がするよ。
His face was a mixture of relief and guilt.
しかし本当にすまなかった。こんな風に稽古をつけるのは久しぶりで、昔を思い出してつい厳しくしてしまったよ。
You mean before you came to Kyoto?
その通り。俺とトシ、宗司に源さんは司令官という道場で天然理心流を学んでね。
Tennen Rishin, a school of swordplay popular in the Tama region. Kon is a master of the style, and Hiji, Okita, and Inao were among his students.
それ以外に三男君、東堂君、長倉君、原田君が転がり込んでいたよ。そういえば斉藤君も顔を出していたな。今は機会も減ったが、あの頃はよく互いに手合わせもしたものだ。
If I remember correctly, talk of the old days came up once one night when everyone was still into their sake. Gon's family were farmers, but it was discovered that he had remarkable skill at sword fighting. The owners of the Shie Hall decided to adopt him so he could continue training, and that's where he met Hiji along with everyone else. It must have been rough, doing all that training.
確かに厳しかったが、今とはまた違う意味で充実していたよ。
He gazed off into the distance, clearly reminiscing, and I felt a tiny pang of envy. If I had been born and raised near Mibu, would I have met all of them under different and better circumstances? Kon turned to look down at me kindly, a gentle smile on his face.
先ほど雪村君は門弟ではない私になんてことを言っていたが、
Huh?
今天然理心流4代目である俺が直々に指導したということは、ある意味では君も天然理心の門下だ。いわばトシや宗司、源さんとも同門ということになるな。
Thank you! It was obviously not official, and it was barely a day's worth of instruction, but I was happy. I couldn't stop smiling. My heart felt so light. Kon, I'm so grateful. Thank you for today. My mind and heart were still reflecting on the wonderful thing that just happened. I returned to my room with my head held high. I'd been staying there for a while now, but sometimes I still felt like I was baggage to them. They needed me for one thing and one thing only. I was never really a part of them, nor did I belong. But now, Kon's words filled in some of the holes in my heart. Just a little, but I treasured the feeling. Smiling, I collapsed onto my futon. The strain and fatigue from earlier was a good feeling, and I let it drag me under to sleep. Newtown, who dis? Oh, that's bad. That's a bad one. Newtown, who dis? Ooh, chapter 3. The dawn of the new year arrived. It was February of 1865, and we finished eating breakfast. I was carrying a plate full of tea and opened the door to the common room. Tea is ready.
おお、すまないね、雪村くん。
I made my way around the room, pouring a cup of tea for each person there, making sure not to spill. He gave me a warm smile as I handed him his tea.
やっぱり寒い日には厚めのお茶がうまいね。
Thank you. I felt a flush of pride at his words, even though I knew quite well that serving tea was hardly impressive. Just the same, I felt as if I was helping out in a way, and that was a nice feeling. Then Hiji spoke, and his words brought me back to present.
八木さんたちにも世話になったが、 この豚書もそろそろ手狭になってきたか。
まあ確かに狭くなったな。大使の数も増えてきたしよ。
広いところに移れるんならそれがいいんだけどな。雑魚寝してる連中かなり辛そうだしよ。
だな。前川邸で寝起きしてる連中なんて毎晩押し寿司みてえになりながら寝てやがるぜ。あれじゃ疲れが取れねえだろうし、なんとかしてやりてえよな。
そんなこと言ったって僕たち新選組を受け入れてくれる場所なんてないでしょう。僕たち今日の嫌われ者だしね。
A person sitting beside Khan pointed at the map spread upon the table.
西本願寺というのはどうかしら。
Nishi Hongawanji. I'm sorry. Another name for the Jodo Shinshu Temple in Kyoto. It allowed the Shinsengumi to make the temple their headquarters for a period of time.
西本願寺ですと、先方の同意を得られるとは思えませんが。
でも数百人の大使が寝起きできるほど広い場所なんて他にないでしょ。それにあの場所ならいざという時も動きやすいと思うのだけど。
This man was named Kashi, recruited by Hei a few months ago as the Shinsengumi's military advisor and deputy commander. Kashi Itao, military advisor and deputy commander of the Shinsengumi. His field of study is literature with imperialistic philosophy. He developed his notoriety teaching Hokoshin Ito in his dojo, and he is known for his scholarliness.
それに西本願寺は以前長州浪士をかくまっていたこともあると聞きますわ。我々が西本願寺に移れば浪士たちは身を隠す場所を一つ失うことになります。
そこまで考えての選定というわけですか。なるほど。
Khan seemed very impressed by Itao's suggestion, but a silent voice of protest arose.
僧侶の動きを武力で押さえつけるのはいかがなものかと思いますが。
Itao's brow twitched as if disturbed by the idea, and he faced Senon directly.
自社を隠れ蓑にして好き勝手な振る舞いをしていたのは長州浪士の方ではなくて、今日の治安を乱す不逞浪士に配慮して差し上げるなんて三男さんもお優しいこと。
Itao's deflection of Senon's words left a bitter taste in everyone's mouth, including Senon.
尊上過激派を抑える必要があるという点に関しては同意しますが。
じゃあなんだ。切り合うときは「やあやあ我こそは」って名乗りを上げて正々堂々とやるべきだとでも言うつもりか。不逞浪士どもがそんな鎌倉武士みたいなご作法に付き合ってくれりゃいいがな。
三郎、口を慎みなさい。
Darling.
おっと悪い。つい本音が出た。
The other man besides Ito was Sabora Miki, who joined the same time as Ito. Allegedly, he was Ito's younger brother by blood. Saburo Miki, captain of the Shinsengumi's Night Division. He is Kashitari Ito's younger brother. They joined the Shinsengumi together. Okay, that makes more sense. Still weird.
皆さん方、ごめんなさいね。この子は昔から口が悪くて。三男さんもお気を悪くなさらないでくださいな。あなたのような方も新選組を大きくしていく上では必要だと思いますし、たとえ左腕が使い物にならなくともその才覚と学識は隊のために大いに役立つはずですわ。
I watched as Senon bit his lip, an act of restraint to Ito's sour words. The tension was cut by another voice.
伊藤さん、今のはどういう意味だ？
Hiji's voice was cold and sharp, like the sound of a blade sliding across a whetstone. Itao seemed taken aback, and his eyes grew wide.
あんたが言うように、三男さんは優秀な論客だ。けどな、剣客としてもこの新選組に必要な人間なんだよ。
Hiji only spoke when necessary, so it must have been something he truly believed. However,
ですが、
he couldn't even seem to bring himself to finish. It seemed as though Hiji realized his words were reminding Senon of what he used to be, causing Senon to curl his lips into a frown.
ごめん遊ばせ。私としたことが失言でしたわ。三男さんは皆さん方の大切なお仲間ですものね。仲がよろしくて結構なことですわ。新たに入隊した大使たちも同じ気持ちでいてくれるといいのですけど。
Hiji's eyes seethed with anger towards Itao. Khan tried to relieve the tension by stepping in and clearing the air.
とりあえず屯所移転の件に関してはもう少し話し合ってから決めるということで。伊藤さん、この後お付き合いを願えますかな。先ほどの件についてもう少し詳しい話をお聞きしたいので。
ええ、喜んで。
Seeing the two get up, Takeda followed right behind them.
近藤局長、私もご一緒して構いませんか。
いいとも。ぜひ君も伊藤さんの話を聞いて大いに見識を広めてくれたまえ。新選組幹部といえど剣術ばかりではいかんからな。これからは広い視野と深い知識を身につけねばな。
は。
Khan left the common room with Itao and Miki, however, who still sat before us. Miki still sat before us. Yeah, pretty boy, what? He smirked coldly towards us, and he slinked off to leave the common room. Okita spoke once Miki's footsteps weren't audible.
まったく、誰なのさ、あんな人たちを連れてきたのは。
Your boss.
犯人はまだ江戸にいるだろう。平助の野郎、帰ってきたらとっちめてやる。
伊藤さんは尊攘派なんだろう。長州の奴らと同じ考えの奴がよく新選組に入る気になったもんだな。
尊皇攘夷だからって長州と同一視されるのは心外らしい。そもそも尊皇とはどうかなんとかわけのわからねえことを抜かしてやがったんだよ。近藤さんも近藤さんであっさり丸め込まれやがって。
近藤さんってお人よしですからね。ああいう口がうまくてお腹の中が真っ黒な人に騙されやすいんだよな。
その伊藤さんが参謀で弟が9番組組長か。めんどくさいことになったぜ。
Eventually, Hiji approached Senon, who weakly hung his head, facing the floor in shame.
三男さん、あんな奴の言うことなんざ気にするんじゃねえぞ。
Senon laughed dryly and shook his head.
伊藤さんは学識も高く弁舌に優れ、剣の腕も確かな方ですよ。優秀な参謀の入隊でついに総長はお役御免というわけですね。
おい、三男さん。
Senon left the room as Hiji's voice trailed behind, echoing in the halls.
三男さんも気の毒にな。あの調子だから近頃は大使連中にも避けられちまってる。
What? But why?
無理もねえだろう。どんな言葉をかけても全部悪く取られちまうし、何を言っても皮肉と嫌味しか返ってこねえから、大使たちも怯えちまって近づかねえんだよ。
Oh no, poor Senon. Even though I haven't been here for as long as the captains, I knew Senon was so well liked by the other warriors before his injury.
土方さん、伊藤さんたちなんて適当な理由をつけてさっさと追い出しちゃってくださいよ。あの人たちが来てから僕、毎晩嫌な夢ばっかり見るんですよね。
んなことできるわけねえだろうが。近藤さんはすっかり伊藤さんに心酔してるみてえだしな。
Oh, I thought he had him leave the room just to stop you guys from killing him, honestly.
伊藤さんと一緒に入隊してきた連中もそんな扱いをされりゃ黙っちゃいねえだろ。
役に立たない人だな。無理を通すのが鬼副長の役目でしょ。
んじゃてめえが副長やりゃいいだろうが。で、あいつらを追い出せ。
嫌に決まってるじゃないですか。そんなめんどくさいの。
The census was that Ito was not to be trusted, and it seems no one spoke in his defense. Only one during all of this quietly sipped his tea. Saito quietly looked up at me as I poured more tea into his cup. What do you think about Itao? I mean, about Itao joining, that is, yeah.
様々な考えを持つ者が属してこそ、タイというのは広がりを見せるものだ。
So then...
だが無理に広げようとすると、内部から瓦解を始めることもある。
See... His words hung in the air, a dark omen for the future of the Shinsengumi. It was considerate of Itao to join, but his presence seemed to be a recipe for dissidence, if not outright disaster. The setting sun glued through the windows with a warm witch maroon, an ominous kind of beauty. It's cold. I came out into the yard and my body stopped due to the cold. Guess spring will take a while. I wasn't too fond of Itao, but it was Senon and his condition that truly worried me. I really wish his arm would just heal. That arm, or perhaps more accurately the lack of it, was the source of his change in personality. Still, as nice as it would be for Senon's arm to simply start working again, that seemed like the stuff of a child's fable, not real life. That was when I remembered.
薬でも何でも使ってもらうしかないですね。三男さんも納得してくれるんじゃないかな。
宗司、めったなこと言うもんじゃねえ。幹部が羅刹になってどうするんだよ。
Okita was talking about the Shinsengumi having a secret serum back in the day. Judging from how they spoke of it, it's an item with circumstances. And I was not to know about the existence of the serum. If I were to look into it without approval, there was no doubt that I'd be punished. But I'm the daughter of a doctor. I'm pretty sure I had more knowledge on medicine than the men of the Shinsengumi did. Let's see. Oh, you know what we're going to do. We're gonna find out next time if we should investigate or if we should leave it alone, guys. Let me know what you guys want to see happen. Thank you for joining me. Check out all the awesome links in the description. Bye, guys!